hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Secrets and forbidden bliss, can't stay still, don't stop that thrill. My bones crave your skin, temptation within, mistakes ignite the silence. Nightmares creep while you and me repeat, this bittersweet heat is suffocating. Hesitating, kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
Alright, sorry about that. Took me a while to find my chapstick. It fell in the crease of my truck. Alright, about a minute and a half. Alright. Welcome everybody to your boy Satoshi Mother effing Heavy signing in here with Sniping Day Trades. I guess is what we'll call it from now on. Hope you like the new intro music. Decided to change it up a little bit. And with that, let us begin. Woo! That shit goes hard as fuck, not gonna lie. Alright. I'm gonna do, it's basically just Bybit Trader members right now. I'm not gonna release the link until like 10 minutes into this bitch. Just because I like to be like that sometimes. Hold on, I'm gonna also send it to, I have a family member who wanted to watch this shit. So give me a second. Facebook. Okay, you guys can't see my face. Okay. I have the chat box open, and I noticed we're actually screening the right screen this time, so thank God. Not gonna have another mishap like last time. As you see in my chart, I'm in limbo right now in terms of what's gonna really happen. I have a general idea and thesis of what's gonna happen on a higher time frame. We'll get into that. Where the fuck are these? Where's this group at? There we are. Right. And where is my chat box? And we'll get it popping. Chat box is right here. Someone say something in the chat box to make sure everything's going right. Let's put a thumbs up. And we'll get it going. Start with Bitcoin as always. And go from there. Okay. Wait, like 1 or 2 more minutes. Well, 1 more second. I just want to make sure we got some people in this bitch. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be restrained. Sometimes these things don't work correctly. Cool. Bang, let's go. Let's get it, boys and girls. Okay. So, on a higher degree, it won't be a bad idea to, like, if you're in spot long, whatever, to possibly take some off the table. For me, it's very hard for me to say, like, you guys have, no, my general ideas is ABC. The highest we go for this ABC is 62,000, about 62,400-ish. Above that, I know for a fact that entire idea is wrong. We'll cover it again, go over it again. The entire idea is that we're in this giant flat here. You got an A wave down, you got a B wave that's becoming really complex and very strong. And then a C wave coming down to end it. That's the general idea. And what this, trying to short this, that's going to be very difficult. It's going to be hard to do that. In terms of trying to get on that swing, it's going to be very difficult, and I'll explain why. It's because this C wave's not going to be quick. It's not going to be fast. It most likely will take about half the duration of this time. And so, if you could just imagine that complexity that must arise, let's say if this is the top, roughly right here. That means here, right? So that's a lot of time for stuff to happen. In my opinion, it will be very complex. Probably end up being like a diagonal, and it probably also won't retrace that deep. So in terms of trying to swing trade it short, it probably is not going to be a really good idea to. But I'm still interested on the termination trade here, because I think it'll be a good little day trade, for like 20%, whatever. But now it's just trying to figure out if we have topped or not. For me, I really think for some odd reason, being this close to this all-time high, I think we're going to actually break it. And we're going to do this weird fifth wave extension here like this. I count 5 up right here already. There's no doubt about that in my opinion. And this vertical line represents a time period where we have to make a new high. So we have to break this high here. before this vertical red line. If that doesn't happen, I'm gonna start shorting based on time. So we have to break this high before this vertical. I'm in a mini short from right here, but I'm willing to add. And the reason why I did that is because my general idea was this, you know. So I just went on a little mini head short to protect the spot positions I'm in. I'm not in any leverage longs anymore. I was from down here, but as soon as this started happening, we rejected pretty harshly. Got this bounce off. I exited. I went into a mini short. I wish I would have shorted there, but I was driving, and I was like, I just closed my position instead of shorting. I probably should have closed and then shorted, but I was driving. I didn't want to really manage anything. So, how we're going to trade this, how I'm going to trade this is, I don't really care where this, if this pushes up here, I could take that loss and be okay with that. If we push above 57,800, I know with a pretty high certainty that this is going to be an extension. Because that 786 level is it's a very, very, very important level to understanding reversals and continuations. Usually, if you're assuming things going to be a reversal, like say if this is a high and we're going to be reversal, if it's going to be a true reversal, we will not break that 786. So if we break that 786, we know that this idea is probably wrong, and we're going to actually move up higher, and we could long that with confidence. That's why I longed this move here with confidence, because I remember yesterday I had two ideas that we're going to come down and move up and pulse through like this, or come down and do this and break down. And I was just waiting for this box here to be accepted and that 786 to be attacked, which it happened. It broke that 786, retested that box, which was X pivot. Again, if you guys don't understand where all this stuff is coming from, go study value range theory in the Elevate trading section or Discord, please. That's where all that context is coming from, structural context. Okay? That 786 stuff, all that stuff, all from value range theory. There's other systems and processes that also use that same context, but it's very important. Okay? I forget I always do that. So, the rule is, I'm in a mini short. If we push up, okay, I'll take that loss. It'd be like a $20 loss, whatever, I don't care. It's going to be super small. Probably like $50, actually. It'll be super small. And I'll end up longing this pullback, this mini pullback, and then, targeting 60,000 plus, which definitely will make up this loss there. One thing I'm looking at here is a 13-minute time frame is in the prime level for a long, and it's actually giving the setup we look for, divergence, bottom out stochastic. It's the exact setup we look for. It's just I need more development here. This won't be a bad little day trade to take it. You're assuming this is going to hold this little area of support, but I don't know. I just don't trust it too much, man. So we're going to see what happens and see what's going to develop. I'm not going to try to guess what's happening. We got a trade here. You could probably take it, assuming this doesn't break. For me, I would prefer this low to break one more time for me to take this trade. I just feel like this would be better. I'll take that trade and target, that and see what happens. And it would hedge that trade against that. But setups here for a long on the lower time frame. Since my Elliott wave says we're in a very, very critical point, I'm not going to take it unless I have all my checks are met. And that means Elliott wave in a lower time frame, which we're not going to dive into the minute time frame. And it just makes sense to break these equal lows right here for liquidity before we even attempt to move up with this reset here. One thing I noticed on the hourly here, we'll go over to ETH, is that we're topped out again. We're showing divergences again, right? So be mindful of that. We got 0, we got 1, we got 2. This level here in here somewhere is X pivot. This right here is X pivot, so we could go ahead and mark that. This is the hourly X pivot, so if we close below this box, we're most likely going to go down. If we maintain this box, then we have a high chance of upside still, which is essentially the game plan. Remember that little game plan on lower time frame? If we break that little low right there, I'm going to long it with anticipation this X pivot is going to hold for a little day trade. And then we'll see if we regain this level here. Regain that level. I'll exit that head short I have right here. And, ride it to 60,000 plus. If we break below this X pivot, 56,300, pretty confident we'll end up going lower. But the 100% confirmation would be this level here, which is 55,228. And the reason why that is a 100% confirmation is because if this is truly an impulse, then we will not retrace 78% of that impulse and that 78%. And so if we break that level, I am definitely going to be saying that we are 100% with the idea that we have topped. So just to recap exactly what we covered on this. Two ideas. One, that we extended fifth wave. Double extensions are very rare, but they're more common in crypto, which is not crazy, but they're rare, but more common in crypto. This is an extension. We can get that here as well. It's not something it won't like make me freaking be so like blown away by or like confused by. I'll be like, well, it just happens to be that wasn't the trade I got in at that particular time, whatever. I got in later than, this buy in here, which is okay with me. I'm taking risk off in terms of ideas and stuff like that. So I'm okay with that. Again, 0, 1, 2, X pivot, break below that X pivot, most likely we'll go lower. We're already attacking it in less time and complexity that we have taken to create it, which isn't really good, but we're holding it, which is good. So if we close this hour like this, above this level, I'll probably enter a little scalp long, like I said, anticipating that 13-minute time frame to bounce up, but it's going to be risky, you guys. Letting you guys know that. And I would rather have that low break, but let's go on to ETH. ETH has been different. Again, I'm with the same idea with ETH from the low, because from the low, this just looks like three waves. A, B, C, and it's just hard for me to say that it's not that. The only possible way that we're, wrong is if this is like a diametric, but this move is too small, in my opinion, to be a diametric compared to this move. And then the other pattern that might confuse us is like maybe a neutral triangle, but then the C wave is not the longest, which also breaks the rule. So to me, it's just the most obvious and logical idea based on wave structures, A and a B and a C. Now it's trying to figure out, what the hell this move is here. Yeah, that's the difficult part. Same thing with this though. We have some levels we're gonna be watching. From the low, I know from this low to this high is 5 waves. I know from this low to this high is 5 waves. Now from this low to this high is 5 waves. This low to this high is 5 waves. And this low to this high looks like it's 5 waves as well. So it's very complex in terms of how you break it down. That's why I threw out this expanding diagonal, because the only thing that could possibly make sense here, it could just be a let's check one more idea here, but it most likely won't be because time looks, too much time already. So too much time has gone away for that idea. The only way I say we're wrong with this idea with ETH is if we do this weird, extremely weird ending expanding diagonal for C wave, which this is the most rare pattern besides like a few triangles there is. Wave 1 has to be the longest though, which I don't know it is. And it is by a freaking nut hair. Or just barely not by a nut hair. One of the two. Let's look at some indicators. The hourly, guys, it's the hourly that just scares me when I say this hourly tends to be pretty pivotal when it comes to these points like this. Every now and then I'll do this stuff, but most of the time it's pretty good. So this just looks ugly, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like, look at this. Look at this. This looks ugly. So we got divergence, right? So we can play something. We got 0, we got 1, we got 2. This is X pivot. If we start trading below this level, I'm pretty confident we're gonna go lower. That's X pivot for this hourly time frame on Ethereum. We're holding it so far. That's crazy how often that shit works though. So again, 0, 1, 2. X pivot's always in the leg that makes divergence. Here's the leg that makes divergence. It's gonna be a bullish order block because in order to invalidate this bearish divergence, the bulls will beat the bears, right? So this bullish order block is your X pivot. Break this high right here, this intraday high, and then I'm pretty sure this is gonna come up here like this, and not be that. So I'm gonna mark that level out real quick. I'll also probably set an alert when we get off. Break that high there, then we're probably gonna break, you know, these highs here. So we do that, we'll probably do this, most likely. And we should not hit this upper trend line, if this is indeed the correct idea. We will not hit this upper trend line. It'll become just short. $13-minute probably is the same location as Bitcoin in a prime location for a buy. I just don't trust it because in here, just when I look into like the lower time frames, I just don't trust it. I'd rather this low get broken, which will then break X pivot, which we then set up the idea that we're on top. So, Litecoin. Sorry, I just want to look at something real quick. Pretty sure this was an ABC for ETH. So it kind of looks like we're going to do that weird diagonal I'm talking about. A, B, C, A, B, C. The only position I'm in again, guys, is a really small head short. This looks decent for a long day trade. You're trusting these order blocks to hold, though. Okay, it's Litecoin. Ooh, Litecoin kind of pushed differently. That's different. Zoom out of Litecoin real quick. Wow, that's a different. Litecoin looks pretty kind of bullish when you're just looking at it from a price action perspective. Like if we could just clear some resistance, this order block is just killing us. If we could close this 5-hour order block, I'm probably not going to be in a day trade on Litecoin or even try to attempt a scalp, just because even though like my gut says this is possibly, I think Litecoin might be in a different type of pattern than the rest of the coins here. I think Litecoin might be in like a leading diagonal from the low. Looking at it. To be continued. But I think this is going to be Litecoin, y'all. It's going to push up higher, break this order block finally. It's been tested so many damn times, this order block right here. Then A, B, C, probably hold like right here. And I think Litecoin might actually do something crazy. Looking at straight indicators and stuff for setups, the hourly is closer to the top when you're looking for situations where you look for a short. 13-minute also kind of toppy, but it looks like Litecoin is definitely going to push up and make another high. I'm on a bare minimum. A, B, C. Watching this move up here. But I know usually we're looking for lower time frame trades, but I don't like how we're pressed up against this resistance. Sure, you might have a little pop up right there for a little scalp there, but that's not my style. I like a little bit of a better of a day swing, like a hold for like a whole session type of thing rather than a scalp. That's not my style. Hourly's in a prime location for a little short, but we're looking for that 13 minutes to show some confirmation there. No trend on Litecoin in my opinion. These two are more, ETH and Bitcoin are more of a prime location to get in a trade sooner than Litecoin. Litecoin's in this area where I don't trust. I can't make much sense of it until I see more price action develop. These two coins that I've been pretty good with where we've been on and stuff. So I have more confidence with these two so far. I like how this wick is so long, we close above the low right there. Yeah, the only thing I don't like is that. I might actually Alright, I'm basically done, guys, so if you guys have any questions or concerns, I might actually take this little long here, maybe stop down here, but again, risky. We get the lower time frame indicator to see if we have a trade set up. We haven't broken this yet, so I'm going to hold off on that. I like this to be broken. 220. I like the 220 to be accepted in some sort. That's usually a good confirmation of those setups that we're seeing on that 13-minute time frame. Or the 5-minute momentum also works pretty damn well. The 5-minute 2021 with I think the 2-minute momentum I lied. Yeah, it's the 21 with the 2-minute. So we're over 21, but our momentum's not positive yet, so that setup's not confirmed, which we're looking on that 13-minute time frame. Remember my setups, I look for bottomed out and topped out stochastics with divergences on our side, regular divergences. Hidden divergences tend to fail when it comes to this type of process for some reason. Now I'm holding it. If this breaks, it's pretty simple, guys. If this breaks and it gets accepted, you know I'm going to be long. So we can't stay here forever. I would love to, but I got to get to going and do some other things in my life. Mostly things to do with Elevate. But yeah, I wish I would have got here earlier. This is probably when at 3 to 4, 5 p.m. time. It tends to be a really good time to enter a trade. Usually after that point, you have to kind of wait till London to get a good entry or a good idea what's going to happen. All right. So if you have any last minute question or concern, this is your time to ask me. I'll be happy to answer them. Let's just go in history and mark out the times we got bottomed out and topped out. Bottomed out, but we didn't get divergence till right here. Let's mark that level. This is bottomed out again. And I don't like divergences that don't happen on the band like this or above the band. By the way, I'll probably make a video on that later, but this might have been one you could possibly get in on. You did get a bottom out indicator here. It is a divergence, but the divergence didn't happen over the mid band and it didn't happen on the band, so it's not really one I like. But let's just mark out those levels because that's the setup, right? We got topped out here, but we didn't get a divergence at all until maybe right here. But that's not really divergence. We got divergence right here. This was a really good one because you got topped out stochastic, right? Topped out stochastic. This was a golden one because look, you got divergence underneath the band right there too. So let's just go back in history. This is a buy. Again, we're about to get out of here. I'm just going over my indicators and how I use them. So on this time frame, I really don't care about OG Chevy too much. The only thing I care about to confirm the actual trade would be the signal OG signal longs, but other than that, it's not really anything important on the 13-minute besides this. Like you see, this was bottomed out, and this confirmed it, but it would have happened after, right? This was topped out, this confirmed it, but the trade would have this confirmed it after the good trade would have happened, right? And this one didn't even turn into a buy, but on a lower time frame, I guarantee you could have gotten that trade. Look. Could have been a wash, but this is where I have to have some knowledge of other things. See that divergence there? You would have gotten that trade there. It's a pretty decent little scalp there. This is the one I was looking for. Should be on 5 as well. That 5, I'm telling you, that 5. Look at that cross. Boom. You got positive momentum on that 5. And you're just golden. I don't know why this doesn't show. This should be showing the cloud on this time frame, but I don't know why it doesn't anymore. It's kind of dumb. It should be showing the cloud, but it doesn't. That's why I say you could maybe even just use the 5 minute and not even have to touch on the 1 minute if the 1 minute gets you too lost. I know there's a lot going on that 1 minute could get people like really nervous and anxious and stuff like that. So that 5 minute might just be good enough for you. And all you're looking for to confirm it is that 5 minute momentum to shift positively. And the OG Chevy to also flip positive on that momentum in a 2 minute. Which happens all right there. It's a little bit different when you use the hourly as a setup. Then you're obviously not going to be using the 2 minute momentum, the 5 minute RSI. You're going to be using like the 15-minute RSI and the 15-minute momentum, right? And by the way, this indicator is called SRSI high, low, open, close, but it's called bands 2 on the chart. Man, I kind of want to long this, guys, because we're just holding this order block. One of these moves should have broken this low, and we haven't done that. It's making me want to long this. I know I shouldn't, though. But we're so close, right? Fuck. Oh, wait. Right, if you guys have any more questions or concerns, I am going to get out of here. Wow. Wow. So yeah, this is called SRSI Bands 2, SRSI. It's my golden child. I created it, I made it, I coded it, cryptic code, whatever you want to call it. Man. Ugh. And it's very good at helping you confirm ideas and stuff. Like, very good. It's like, you usually want to just look at this. It's not gonna, obviously it's not gonna be 100% correct. It's probably like 40. Like, just following this purely, it's probably like anywhere from 45 to 55% accurate, maybe, roughly, on some pairs and on some time frames. Man, guys, I kind of want to log this. It'll be against my rules because we're underneath the 220, but that 13-minute looks really good. We're so close to the all-time highs. It's like, how can we not break the all-time high being this fucking close? It's Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin. We've been on a rally since the low. It's Bitcoin, right? That's just how I feel about it, but I'm going to let it develop. I took my precautions. I'm in spot long still, but I'm very close to wanting to let go of all of that. I've been in spot long since down in here when I threw out this idea that we're going to be in the C wave. It's been holding since then. I wish I would have held my margin positions, but that's a little bit harder to hold on to those things, right? But yeah, pretty damn good. Look, if you would have just bought when this went positive, sold when it went negative there, bought when it went positive again, sold when it went negative, you would have got late on this sold, and you would have bought back higher. And bought back there, sold. See, this when it gets closer to the end of the trend, like when it starts getting divergences, so that's when it gets a little washy. You gotta be very, very mindful of stuff like that. This sell would have been good. You would have started selling there. And the reason I have these bands is because usually when you touch the band or get really close or make a divergence on the band, you probably want to take profit if you're in an opposite direction trade. That's essentially what it is. But it's pretty fucking good. Especially in tandem with this. This usually goes first, and this usually will confirm it. Positive there. Now they're both positive. Now you know pretty good certainty they're both going to be positive. SRSI went negative there, but RSI is still positive. You could hold if you have confidence in RSI. Nasty divergence, and we got a kick-ass sell signal. You should really trust that. We got one right there, but I don't like how close the divergence was compared to this one. This one's really good. Look how far the divergence was. Just like this one. Notice how the space between, that's very important to you guys. I know this is not really important and stuff, but it's not really anything beneficial in terms of a trade, but I'm just trying to get you guys to see things. All right, get you guys' mind, your juices flowing in your mind. All right. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. So again, you can catch me this Sunday at around, let's go, about the same time, 7 to 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we're gonna kick it off. It'll be high time frame stuff. And we might touch a little bit more coins. Like we'll definitely touch on ICX. Most likely Tezos, XTZ, and most likely East BTC. Those will all get touched on this Sunday. All right, as long as these coins we just covered today as well. All right. So thank you all for tuning in. Sorry we didn't really get a trade set up today or anything like that. We have a trade set up, but I don't trust it enough for me to say take it. And plus our lower time frame like confirmation shit is still bearish, so we can't even take it anyways. So, but it's awfully close. It's like, do you trust that? Right, guys, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. It's your boy Satoshi Mother Effin' Heavy signing in. VF out. Peace out, everyone.
Bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires.